Christian Louboutin's shoes are so sexy that women collect them as fast as they can. Not surprisingly, this man, brought up surrounded by sisters, knows everything about women, and he puts it all into his designs.
I don't really necessarily have an ideal woman, and one of the reasons is that I think that every woman is already a lot of women. And I was brought up in a family, in a harem, because it was only girls. I only had sisters, older sisters, and my mother. So basically I was brought up by women. And when I was angry, because of my sister, who were monstrous, I was always saying to my mother, I don't have 3 sisters, I have 300 witches in the house. You know, it's much too much for me. So I think that a woman has a lot of characters anyway. So it's difficult for me to shrink every woman in one woman. The first thing I really wanted to do was to design shoes for showgirls, because at the end of the day, you know, a showgirl is like a bird of paradise. It's a woman, but it's a representation of a bird, basically. At the end of my school, I did a big internship at Folies Bergère, and it was very interesting because, you know, if you like high heels, so showgirls are the best to actually show how to walk, how to manage, how to practice, but also they've got great tricks about things, because not only they need to look and to be good, but also they have to not to think about it. So it has to be very comfortable. They don't have to think about their feet. And you know, it's the first moment where I really thought that this stupid sentence, which is suffering to be beautiful, doesn't work. You know, showgirls cannot suffer to be beautiful. A girl who is trying on a pair of shoes, she looks at herself in the mirror. She's not looking at the shoe. She considers the shoe if she thinks she looks good. And when she thinks she looks good, it's because on that shoe that she hasn't seen yet, she looks at her legs. She looks at her figure, and if the figure looks good, then she considers the shoes. I think that there has been a change on a fashion point of view. With shoes, women are actually more obsessed with shoes. The heels are getting higher and higher, and I'm afraid I'm pretty much responsible for a part of it, and I do not apologize. I like it that way, I have to say. I think that high heels empower women in a way, but again, it depends on women. You know, some women with high heels look extremely fragile, and some women on high heels look extremely strong. It depends the way you walk, but it also depends the way you want to show yourself in a way. You know, you can be almost a sort of aggressive or looking like an image, but also you can be this sort of delicate thing because you need an arm to hold on, because you have to tiptoe. So it's definitely not about the fashion, it's definitely about this new attitude that women have in different situations. Well, I have been designing for a lot of stars. I just do not like to name people because I sort of take myself very seriously, a little bit like as a doctor, you know, because shoe is a bit of an addiction. So as a good doctor, you have your professional secrets. If I have to give a tip for women at Net-a-Porter, I'm going to have a hard time, but I'm still going to try. But I would say, first of all, it absolutely depends on when you wake up, if you want to feel naked, dressed or undressed during the day. I mean by that, first of all, I would start by the shoes, but you have 2 categories of shoes. Shoes which are dressing the woman or shoes which are undressing the woman. So out of that, you will have an attitude. And out of this attitude, you know, you put the shoes on, and then after it's going to naturally, just like, you know, some movies, comme on dit, like dessins animés, cartoons, where, you know, there is a magical thing, tack, and it starts and you change color. So, you know, you start by the tip, which is the foot, and then the whole thing is going to color the rest of your body. My thing has always been women, shoes. Definitely, I'm very happy to be able to do what I always wanted to do and to have the time to do it better and to improve myself and still really being excited by my work and being excited by the way it goes. I'm going to tell you a secret. I've never bought anything on Net-a-Porter, and I feel terribly guilty about that.